We thought, hey, we'll take everyone behind the scenes with us and give you a real account of what actually happened in the US. We never come across anyone else with a swag. They didn't even know what it was.
If that doesn't scream America.
There's so many cool rigs over there. I think I'd love to try and build something over there.
Mate, I'm gonna go a Rivian.
Now's a good time as well to look at some of the deleted footage, mate, that never made the shows. Welcome to another Beers in the Shed. Graham, me there, mate?
Mate, not only am I here, hang on a second, I'm just going to hold this up to the phone for you.
Yep. There you go. I was waiting for that signal, mate, because I've been holding this beer, nursing it a little bit in the Queensland sun, and she's good to go, mate. I want to say
Good
big
man.
cheers. And cheers,
bud.
because it's always good to catch up with you on Beers in the Shed, mate, but cheers as well to our 50th episode of Beers in the Shed. Can you believe it?
50 episodes, mate.
The big 5 votes, the old half century.
It spans right back to the days of the Warhane Woo-Woos of the old spicy cough, mate. This is when we came up with Beers in the Shed.
Exactly
and
right.
That seems like a lifetime ago.
It really does, mate, and it's been something that I think you guys have absolutely loved. And the call was to sort of keep Beers in the Sheds, and I like the way it's evolved. And actually, I wouldn't mind hearing from you folks as well at home. What do you think of Beers in the Shed? What do you reckon? Maybe it needs another section. You know, we've got fails, we've got our rigs, we do a lot of questions on there, we give away a lot of prizes, but who knows, maybe there's some feedback for us. And the best way to do that, of course, let us know in the comments below. And mate, while we're on that topic, I think a lot of people don't want to miss out on any of the Full Drive 24/7 action, including all of our content, plus the Beers in the Shed, the competitions, all that sort of jazz. Now, the best way to stay in touch with us is, of course, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your notifications on so you never miss any of it, and also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, because across all that social media, that's exactly we're everywhere, and that's how you'll find out everything there is to know about your favourite four-wheel drive channel. Now, mate, if it's okay with you, there's a stack of questions that have come through about our American trip. So why don't we spend a little bit of time just going through some of that stuff. Here is one from Theo Hayden. If you could have taken any other rig, knowing what you do now, which one would you have taken? So I'm guessing if you could take another rig to the States, would you you had that Jeep, mate.
Mate, no, look, you know what? That Jeep blew my mind. All it really did for me was incentivise me to build one bigger. I mean, next time I go, doors are coming off, roof's coming off, I'm doing the whole lot, 37s, proper Jeep world.
Look, would I have taken another vehicle? I think the Dirty 30 was perfect for that, having an auto and some pretty flexy suspension. Plus, it was a compromise. You know, we had to live out of these vehicles for me for 6 weeks, so I had everything in there that I needed. So it was pretty, I had a bit of weight on it. It wasn't a typical rock crawler by any means, but it was the best of both worlds. I could camp and enjoy camps. I could travel huge distances, plus I could wheel some pretty tough tracks. So for me, that really was the ultimate all-rounder. The other rig, of course, is sooty, but it's very much the same sort of setup anyway. So they're the only two I'd probably think about taking.
Did you ever have any problems getting diesel? It's not a common fuel.
No, you're right. Look, had I been on the tracks and I ran out of diesel, there's not a chance in the world that I would have found another diesel rig to get diesel off. So you had to be self-prepared. But at the same time, in saying that, my fuel consumption was about twice as good as every other vehicle in the convoy. So and I've got 160 litres in gallon world. That's about 40 gallons maybe of diesel, which is a heck of a lot. So it means that I could, I'd be right for every single track, and plus I'd have mobs to drive back to where we needed it to. I never got close to running out of fuel anywhere. We've got a question here from Cade Morris. Why have you removed all UHF whips since being in the US?
Good question, Cade.
Turns out that they use a different frequency. In fact, our Australian frequency is apparently what they use for military or police applications.
I think it was police applications,
Yeah, and it's obviously very illegal to use ours.
Very illegal,
So we didn't even turn our radios on. In fact, we even took the aerials out. So we took the whips off. And we were just running around with handhelds, which is a bit of a pain because the range wasn't really good. They were quite scratchy. And it's a shame we can't use our good quality stuff over there. But different frequencies. And I had no idea about that.
I think it's one of the things I've said to many mates when I've had beers coming back here, and chatting to them about what America was like. The one thing I've had to say is that America is very, very similar to Australia, but just ever so slightly different in all aspects. So like that, for example, of course they've got UHFs over there, but you can't use the same aerials. Different whips, different frequencies. Food, same as here, but different. Beavers, same as here, but different.
Exactly.
How do you go about getting a vehicle from Australia to America? Tell the folks how you actually got the Dirty 30 over there. Because you didn't drive.
Yeah, good question. I certainly didn't. Certainly didn't drive it over there. We've of course had to ship it over.
Yep.
Now, lucky for us, we enlisted the help of an agency which took care of the paperwork. Now, when I say there's a lot of paperwork, I'm really understating that. There is so much paperwork. There are so many hoops to jump through. Now, I believe mine was under the expedition use, which means it can be over there for 12 months. Then it's got to come back. Now, a lot of people have said to me, look, they're thinking about taking their vehicle over and they'd love to do it and all the rest of it. And yes, it's a dream, honestly, to take your own vehicle overseas and drive it. But the realities are that it's very, very expensive. Now I'm talking about $30,000 return to get a vehicle from Australia to the US and back again. And that's probably understating it, to be honest. There's probably more hidden costs as well. There's different carnet forms and different things like that.
Yep.
So chances are you'll be spending more than what your vehicle's worth to try and get it over there. My advice would be to either rent something over there, buy something over there, sell it again, go down that path. I know it's really cool to have your own vehicle, but look, to be honest with you, the expense is so crazy that that it's out of the realms for most people. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. If I wasn't filming over there, I wouldn't be doing it. No,
I've toyed with the idea. I mean, you come back and you have a few beers and start thinking about things, and I would love to just drive across America over there, but there's no way I'd take, Shorty or something like that. I'd buy an old second-hand Jeep or, something along those lines. And then you're going to sell it. You're not going to lose any money on it, It's much more cost-effective.
It's a way to do it. It's a way to do it. Look, if you're in a position where you can afford that sort of stuff, then go for it. It will tick so many bucket list goals you'll have.
Sure.
That it's not funny. But the reality is it's probably way more expensive than most people realise.
And let's not forget, the steering wheel is on the wrong side when you take your own vehicle over there. That's a big one.
Exactly right. Chances are that you're not going to find parts really easy.
Yep.
There's so many different variances with the vehicles and all the rest of it. Not to mention that if you want to go down the Baja coast or going to Mexico and things like that, you're probably better off having a US vehicle to do that,
I agree.
rather than
an
Aussie one.
Mate, I got a question here straight up for you. 81 Clive. How you going, 81 Clive?
Yep.
I hope you're doing well out there, mate.
Yep.
Would four-wheel drive 24/7 consider upgrading wheel rim sizes for the Australian tracks? And he's not mucking around here, mate. He's not talking 35s. He's saying, should we be going 40-inch and above?
Wow. Look, I think the purpose of this whole trip for us, for Graham and myself, we could have got away with putting 40s on the Jeep. Like every second person does that. I could have put 37s, 38s, 40s on the 30 if I really wanted to get a grinder to it. But at the end of the day, we thought we're going to drive our vehicles like we would in Australia over there to see if we could. Yeah. And we had a lot of fun doing that. So I don't regret not going up in tyre size. I will say one thing. The bigger the tyres, especially in that rock country, looked like it was a lot easier wheeling, easier on the vehicle as well.
Yeah.
Look, I'd love to have a vehicle with I reckon 37s or 38s would be the tyre size of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, would be the tyre size of choice. But again, I don't regret having 35s on my rig. I think they did really well, and we got a lot of fun out of doing it.
In that same sort of vein, mate. Harrison Percy, he just wants to know.
Yep.
Would you guys think about building another four-wheel drive to USA standard over there, or will we stick with what we've got?
Yeah.
I think you're going to do some work to the 30, aren't you?
I'm doing a little bit of work to the 30, but it's not. I guess I learned a lot about that vehicle driving, some of the hardest tracks in the world over there. And the big things I'm going to be doing to that 30, you might surprise you, because I was at the start, I talked a big game when I was having beers with you over in the States, what I wanted to the vehicle, but then I realised I'm going to bring this vehicle back home, and I still want it to be able to drive around here. Yep. So what I'm going to do is muck around with reducing weight, lowering the centre of gravity, and playing around with weight distribution, as well as getting the shock and spring set up correct. You can move the vehicle around too much, so I just need it to be a lot stiffer, and I can do that with the sway bars, shocks and springs. So just some basic, fine tuning, I suppose you'd say. And if we were to go back over to the States and maybe we had the opportunity to get another vehicle to build it, there's so many cool rigs over there. I think I'd love to try and build something over there. Sky's the limit, mate. They've got some really cool old Toyotas, like they call them pickups, like the old Hiluxes would be cool to build. Yeah. They've got Suzukis or Samurais, Samurais. They've got Broncos, obviously a stack of different Jeeps.
Those Broncos.
Yeah, I'd go a Bronco in 2 seconds, mate.
Yep.
The new ones, I love the new ones, but I love some of the old ones too. I reckon they're cool.
Mate, I'm going to go a Rivian on 37s.
You would as well. Yeah, extra latte cup holders in the centre console. I get it.
Don't you worry about that, mate. While you're filling up at $3 a litre, I'll just sail on past you into the sunset.
Yeah, exactly right. No,
until I run out of charge, and then you can tow me the rest of the way.
Here's a question from Latitude 32 Overland. When are we going to Baja?
Shout out to our mate Basil.
Yep.
From Basil's garage. He actually builds overlanding vehicles over there just to tackle Baja. That's what he does. So, mate, that's a dream of mine.
The long and short of it is we're definitely going to be going at some stage to Baja. We can't not. But we just got to figure out how we can get vehicles down there. But I heard it's pretty hard getting them back sometimes, especially if you don't have American license and registration and all that sort of jazz. So we just need to, we need to sort out the legalities there. But yes, Baja is definitely on the bucket list. Now, feeling a little bit out there today, Graham, you and I.
Yes,
We've been reminiscing about, obviously, our Colorado show went live.
Yep.
We, Graham and I sort of went onto our phones, picked out a few images, videos, things that you just would never, ever see the light of day. We thought, hey, we'll take everyone behind the scenes with us and give you a real account of what actually happened in the US. Righto, mate, just want to go through a couple of these photos that probably need a little bit of explaining on my phone.
I'm sure there's a few like that, mate.
Firstly, I just want to make a quick mention of the pubs over there. Now, of course, this is nothing different to what we do back home, but in between filming, sometimes we'd be lucky enough to come back to town. There'd be a couple of nights off every now and again. So we'd go to a pub, a good place to get a feed, a couple of beers, things like that. And look at that photo right now of Pete. He's got 2 straws in his mouth. He's having a great old time.
You got to help a mate out where you can, man.
Now, I thought this is quite a novelty, mate. When you want to take away from a brewery, now they pour you a beer in a plastic takeaway cup, but they put like a bit of cardboard over the top of it and a seal over it, so you can take that in your car and drive, and it shows that you haven't opened it and you're not drink driving.
But why are you getting a takeaway beer to put in your car and drive away? So I could never get that bit. Why not buy a can of beer?
Well, they didn't have cans. They were pouring it out of the tap, and
I suppose. And I wasn't arguing. I just never really got that
safety tape, mate. It's got as long as it's got safety tape over it, they know that you are being very sensible. Now, this is a close-up of my beadlock after the Rubicon Trail. So,
look at that.
Obviously, I've got a bit of rock rash on all my beadlocks, and if you use your four-wheel drive, you sort of get that. That goes with the territory. But check out the groove I've cut into the beadlock. Now, this is 4 days of hard wheeling on rocks. It's actually grooved out the inside of the beadlock, which I've never seen before. I thought that was pretty dramatic, mate.
Well, that said, though, when you think about it, the Rubicon was 4 days on a rock.
Yeah,
you're never not on a rock.
Constantly rock crawling.
Yep. Like it's unbelievable. So, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that's all you did to those beadlocks. Yeah. A number of people have asked us about the different vehicles we saw over there. Not the ones we took, obviously, Dirty 30, Jeep. Together, we saw some of the most ludicrous builds you could ever hope to see on the streets, not on the tracks, on the streets, driving around. I think the craziest one I saw, and it wasn't one I didn't like it. It was just the craziest one I saw, was actually in Hawaii, of all places, so it's still American. Yep. This guy rocked up in a Tacoma on about 40s, and I reckon the rims on it must be, I don't even know what those rims are. I've never seen anything like it.
Set of 27s.
Can you imagine taking that to Little Red?
Oh, no, they're not built for that, are they? This was just in the car park of one of the hotels, this one here. And it had this custom-y looking bar thing on it. And but see the big dual tyres on the rear, they all had that.
The big difference that there is between maybe Australia and America, of course, there is the number of people, sure. But when it comes to modifying vehicles over there, whether it be 2-wheel drives, whether it be 4-wheel drives, 8-wheel drives, 12-wheel drives, all they need to get right over there is their emission laws. So long as they're not blowing black smoke out the back, do whatever you like. Go nuts.
Yeah, exactly right.
You've just got this open palette, this blank palette that you can do whatever you like with in order to modify your vehicles.
I think it's kind of cool to see people, they can sort of go nuts with the modifications if they're done right. And I think there's a lot to be said about that, mate. Now, look, can I just take you back to, right, when we first got to the States, you and I caught up for a beer and I was there, been there for a couple of days. I was trying to give you the quick rundown of what the go is over here. It's a crazy new world, Graham. Just be prepared, mate. And then one of the things we had to do, of course, before we started filming was get our supplies together. Now, while we had our vehicles and everything, we still had to get water, we had to get some jerry cans, basically all the stuff. So normally in Australia, of course, you'd type in BCF or Anaconda, Repco, all the stores you'd chuck into your phone, go and do your bits and pieces. Now, in the States, they say everything's a little bit bigger over there. The first stop I made, mate, I went across to one of the Bass Pro shops. Now, anyone who's been to the States will be just like, they'll be smiling right now thinking, yeah, you were doing in for a big treat, because these Bass Pro shops are like one of our biggest outdoor shops on steroids. Like I'm talking the size of one of our Bunnings, but if not, bigger than our Bunnings. And these things are absolutely insane. And then I thought Bass Pro, that's about as good as it gets. You'll never see anything like that again in your life. And then, Graham, remember the shop that you introduced me to?
Oh my goodness, Shields.
First thing you see when you walk in is an aquarium. Now I'm talking the likes of Ocean World in Sydney. You're gonna see a full aquarium sort of spec. It's amazing. You don't need to go in there and buy anything. There's just enough.
No, you could go there just for that.
Yeah, there's just to see and do. There's lots of to just walk in and see this aquarium, and then once you get beyond the aquarium, yeah, of course, you're going to find a Ferris wheel. And I mean a full-size Ferris wheel inside. This is all inside an outdoor store. And just walking around and seeing so much stuff that was so foreign to us in Australia, it was absolutely amazing. And you could touch and feel and play with. Look, you and I would have spent how many hours and hours in that store?
Mate. Well, you know what? The only reason we left from memory was because we had to go to the Land Cruiser Museum that afternoon.
That's right. That was the same day.
Had we had nothing else on.
Oh, we would have been there all night. They would have been kicking us out of the store at the end of the day.
Oh, well, I could have camped in there quite easily. There was enough gear.
Exactly right.
Do you remember the big taxidermy display in the middle of the store?
Do I ever?
They had moose, they had mountain lions,
every single animal that was in the US that you can legally shoot is in that shop.
Yep.
They really know how to do a retail store over there, mate.
They really do.
They
really do.
From memory, they fleeced a bit of money out of you and I pretty easily. We walked out with lots of shopping bags again and wondering where we're going to keep all this stuff we've just bought on day 3 of our adventure. We're there for 6 weeks, mind you.
Absolutely.
Just talk about camping 2 seconds. It wasn't super glamorous in the sense that you weren't in fancy rooftop tents or caravans or fifth wheels. That's what a lot of people in the States camp with. And we brought our swags. We were probably only a handful of people in the whole of the US that actually sleeps in a swag out in the bush. We never come across anyone else with a swag. They didn't even know what it was. Lots of people actually asked when they saw the Dirty 30 or the Jeep setups, they're like, well, how do you guys sleep?
Yeah.
And we're like, I see that bit of rolled up canvas, that's our bed, it's a swag. And they had no idea. No, I'd never seen one before. And that's actually an Australian invention, the old humble swag. But
I'm pretty sure most of those people thought we were like a taco for bears, mate, rolled up in a...
yeah, just wrapped in canvas, ready to
be eaten. Now, on the animal thing, just one real quick one, mate, because I don't know why this had such an impact on me, but it really did. That same night, we were camped by a beaver dam.
Yeah,
I'd never seen
You've never seen a beaver? Yes, you have. You've been
not
to
that size. Not Can we put that in?
I don't think so.
Not of that size anyway, mate, and certainly not one with a tail. And I just bought those new binoculars. Again, that was something I didn't need to buy. I bought binoculars in a sports store for some reason. Anyway, seeing beavers swimming around in front of camp, unbelievable, mate. That was
unbelievable.
To me.
And then, do you remember, I'm going to take you back up to Colorado where we saw, it's actually marmot. It's
those things were
very
cool.
similar to a groundhog. I've been told since though, groundhogs live down in lower altitude. Up high is the marmot. We didn't even set this up, mate. Where I parked my vehicle was right next to a burrow of a marmot.
And his house.
Yeah, he'd just pop out and we'd give each other a wink, and he'd do his thing, I'd do my thing. It was just so surreal to see these little critters over there you don't get to see here in Australia.
Yeah, and they're the sickest things. They're big and fat and hairy. They're actually a little bit like me, and they lay out in a rock in the sun and just make strange noises.
Yeah, I was jealous of those little guys. They look like they're doing all right. What about the time we were fixing the Jeep, mate? And I saw a rustle in the bushes. I looked up and a bear. Now, I've only got a quick bit of footage of this. It was the middle of the day. We were fixing the Jeep, and I was like, oh, there's a bear. It ran 20 metres from where we were fixing the Jeep, and by this stage, it was probably our third bear we've seen. And we sort of looked up, it's just a little black bear, and back to working on the vehicle. And it just ran across the road right near us, and it was just in the scrub right next to us. So I think things like that. It was just crazy.
A real funny part to that one, folks, is that Sean he saw a bear, he was excited, but then a tour bus full of Amish people came past. Now, we don't get a lot of Amish people in Australia.
Yeah, I was very excited about that. Yeah,
he was very excited to say good day to the Amish people. Everyone was waving.
They're waving back. I don't think they subscribe to us on YouTube, mate, but you never know. They might now.
No, they can't. No, they can't do that. But yeah, we saw a bear and a bunch of Amish people all in one go. It was very exciting afternoon.
It's a lot to take in, and there were so many cool experiences. That's the cool thing about travelling in your four-wheel drive, folks. When you get the opportunity, you don't have to go further afield like we did, but just every time you go somewhere, whether it be Cape York, Fraser Island, you go the high country, Tasmania, you take your four-wheel drive somewhere cool, you're just going to have experience after experience, and it's certainly not lost on us, mate. We get to see some pretty cool things.
We do, mate, and I think America for both of us was one of those things that I was pinching myself after I got back. At the time, I was blown away. My headspace was just all over the shop. But coming home and sort of settling down, I look back on it and think, holy balls, man, we wheeled across America. Like, what the hell? Unbelievable.
And the really cool thing is, of course, we've got still all the footage from Moab in Utah, which is, trust me, I've seen a little bit of the stuff on the cutting room floor, mate, and that is wild.
Mate, what an adventure. But life goes on over here, mate. And that includes, of course, Beers in the Shed's Deal of the Month. And for that, I'm going to throw it to one of my favourite bearded men in the world. That's good old Jocko.
Righto guys, Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales are here. You can get a UHF and an antenna with free delivery anywhere in Australia for just $279. Normally, both of these would cost you around $428. So you're saving around $149 and you're getting free delivery anywhere in Australia. Let me take you through what you get. So first up, the UHF 360. This is the radio I've got in the Pony and I've had it in this vehicle for years. It's never let me down, awesome bit of kit, but you pair that with one of these. This is a 6.5 dBi antenna. It's a good all-rounder, so this is the perfect UHF setup for no matter where you take your four-wheel drive. The fact that it's black makes it look nice and schmick as well. So don't miss out on the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales for your four-wheel drive. Go to oricom.com.au, get a new UHF for your vehicle and don't miss out.
This is going to be one of the biggest sales we have ever done. It's Black Friday sale right here at 4wheeldrive247.com. So we have some of the biggest brands on sale right now. I'm talking up to 40% off Snatch clothing as well as Snatch recovery gear, up to 30% off brands like Runva, Steady, GME, Bendix, EVC and so much more. So do yourself a favour, jump right on our website now, take advantage of these huge savings and get kitted up before Chrissy. I just wanted to let you guys know about a really cool raffle that the guys from Marta Cars for Cancer are running right now, where you can win big and adventure even bigger. Now, if you see this prize package behind me, it all could be yours for only $30. It also includes over $32,000 worth of gold bullion, making this total prize package worth $330,000. And just remember, every single ticket sold is helping to fund vital cancer research and patient care at Marta. So you're also helping the community out and you got the chance to win an amazing prize that can literally take you just about anywhere in Australia in comfort and style. So do yourself a favour and head straight to the website carsforcancer.com.au. Get your tickets now. Entries are limited and close on the 13th of January. Good luck. I reckon, mate, now's a good time as well to look at some of the deleted footage, mate, that never made the shows. So we'll probably start with the Rubicon one, mate, and have a look at some of this.
Well, this is pretty iconic, mate. Look at that. We've got Canadian geese in the background.
I know.
Snow-capped mountains over here. This right here is called Buck Lake.
And
the mission for today
is to get to the springs, mate.
Everyone has said, you've got to camp at the springs.
Yep.
You can swim, it's grassy.
Yeah.
Absolutely sensational.
Could even catch a fish.
Let's just get to the springs, mate. You jump back in.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Keep coming.
Yeah, baby. Whee!
So we're filling the drum up again. You got to put a rag over it.
Why
Why?
you run away?
Just from the elevation, it adds pressure and
Elevation and pressure.
might explode at you.
Yeah, because the air gets thinner, so it expands.
Yeah.
All right.
We might see the end of Graham Cahill here.
That fucking lat.
You know, let's just have a talk about the no fuel, no beer scenario.
Oh!
It's 100% true, Graham, isn't it? We are running low on fuel, beer supplies, food supplies. But Graham, I ask you, we're on our own getting here. We were left. Everyone just left us.
At no point did
and did
anyone
their own
say,
thing.
grab fuel at the servo on the right when you come past
Yeah.
Icehouse Road, because it's the last fuel you'll get.
Yep. They're making it up now.
And if we
Yeah,
get
you're doing a lot of whinging for a couple of blokes that are scabbing some fuel.
What on earth is this? Yeah, it's ice. It must be over 30 degrees today, and there's chunks of ice all around here. This is weird. It's the land of extremes out here.
Go Team Jeep.
Not bad for a bloke that usually drives on the right-hand side of the car.
Just trying to creep along. That door is very close.
Well, that's it. Bit more. Yeah, buddy. Oh, makes you feel alive. It's rare that you'll see a vehicle with a full canopy attempt the Rubicon, and this challenge is making Tim sweat a little.
Slowly, front and rear lockers on.
We'll get through it either way.
It's going to have a little touch, I think.
Yeah. Petey boy!
There was nothing left in there. That was it. All of it. Just a hair.
Thanks, buddy. That was unreal. Thank you. We'd be lost without Pete on this trip.
That was a really good drive. Controlled, slow, front and rear lockers on. Did a really good job.
Just thought it'd be quite an easy run getting down this hill, but it's just real sketchy. Just guide me, I can't see a thing.
No, I know. You're good.
Nice and slow. That's the key.
Yeah, you're right line.
It's just nerve-wracking because it's like off cambered, and I've already rolled it once today, sort of thing. Like, oh Jesus! Oh, that's steep. Oh my goodness! And got a drive going down as well.
You're good.
Whew. Thank you. Hey. Woo.
It's got the heartbeat.
That probably felt sketchier than nearly anything today. And this is a nothing part of the track. It's just we're trying to get to camp. This place is wild.
Morning, champions. I thought I'd just show you around one of the most, heck, perhaps the most impressive camp I've ever stayed in. This is our camera crew are living. They got this weird little thing down here. They're loving that. There's the boys. Give us a wave. We've got another cameraman over here. I don't know what he's doing. He's just acting all sort of nonchalant. Look at him. What are you doing, Luke? It's not even your car, bro.
Oh, isn't it?
No. Come on down here. Come down here. This is where Big Timbo from Mitts, he's living here. Up in his rooftop tent. This is me down here in my swag. As you can see. The old Jeeparoonie going on there. Come and say good morning to the boys. We've got our American-Australian representative over here. Nicest man in the industry over here.
Morning.
Pete.
Morning.
Down here's a couple of Pete's little secrets. We won't go into that too much. Keep that quiet. Now, there's no introductions needed over here. This is the one and only in the wild. We've caught him, Mr. Sean Whale.
Must finished brushing his teeth.
He's just finished brushing his teeth. Yeah. This is where Sean sleeps. I'm going really behind the scenes here. This is a little sweat. That's my shadow, by the way. Hello. That's where Sean sleeps. Here's a fact you probably don't know about the Rubicon. Everywhere you go, have a look at that. Can you see that? There's a blooming helicopter. I don't know what they're doing. Hey, more Americans. Say hello.
Good morning.
Say g'day.
G'day, folks.
Now, I'm just going to run up here quickly. It's a dream come true, to be fair. And I've seen a bear. This is your roving reporter, Gary Cahill, clocking off. Catch you next time. Well, that Rubicon track, mate, that surpassed all of my expectations. And then I didn't even have any expectations for Colorado.
How's it with the breath, Sean?
Pretty good, actually. That's when you got a little bit of adrenaline, you don't feel altitude, I found out.
I love it. I love it.
So crazy.
I'm like nervous, but it's the fun kind of nervous. The fun kind of nervous.
I'm not nervous.
I'm going to let you in a little secret here. I lost my mobile phone. It took us half an hour. Everyone had to get together to find it. I don't know what this is. Everything in America, they seem to wrap it in bread and you put it in your mouth and eat it. It tastes bloody fantastic. I'm going to sleep well tonight because last night I was a bit heezy and wheezy because I'm getting old.
We've been in the US for 2 weeks now, and we have to apologise if we start sounding a little bit American. We're using some terminology out here that just makes it a fraction easier for the Yankee boys to understand what we're saying.
A bit quiet there, mate. Yeah, very quiet. There's a sheer drop of like 400 or 500 metres straight down there. Oh, I can't even. I'm going over here. Quick question.
Yeah.
Speckiest waterfall you've ever been to?
This one, without a doubt.
Has to be.
Has to be the coldest waterfall I've ever been to.
I just put my head in there and I'll tell you what, instant ice cream brain. Like,
I put my hand in and got instant shrinkage. So I am going no further near that water. That is ridiculous, but
this is coming straight out of ice from the top of the mountain, and apparently our track rips up this hill and we get right up the top of that waterfall. So
don't look now, but that's the track over there.
Get out of here.
That's us. That's our future.
What's all the tracks? Why don't they have barriers?
Oh, it
There's
scares
so much
me.
infrastructure in this country. Just put a little barrier in. I feel so
Something
much
safe.
safer.
Imogene Pass, if you're ever in Colorado, this is unbelievable.
Right, we're about to drive across a very, very narrow little road across some old tailings from a mine.
Oh no, that's actually pretty sketchy. Have a look at it. How do you fit a car on it? No, that's pretty tight.
Can't believe there's a track here. They've just got no sense of danger in this side of the hemisphere.
Holy ball, man. No, that's horrible. I don't like this at all. I don't like this one bit.
If you haven't already picked up, the scale of the mountains is shaken short. Poor fella. He's just not coping.
Well, this doesn't feel very natural.
Wait, what? Why is he honking?
Nah, I was trying to shook up Sean.
Sean is already shook.
How are we, Gary?
Yeah, you're okay.
Feeling good?
No, I'm not feeling good at all. It's a long way down and there's water on that side.
The question is, do you want to fall in the water
No,
or in the
no,
bushes?
I don't want to fall in anything. My eyes are watery, I'm not crying.
Come on, it'll be okay.
Can you, 2 hands? Are you sure you got enough room on your side?
No, not really. Not really. Do you want me to come over?
No,
there?
I can't. No. Just... Oh, mother.
Actually, my wheels aren't
Stop!
dangling
You
off. They are actually. I'm going to crack a gear where it gets really narrow. Just hang on. Hang on, this is going to get really sketchy, I reckon. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. There we go.
Oh, God, my eyes are
saved
watering.
you. I saved
I'm not crying. It's the wind. It's glacial.
He's crying.
Oh, yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's all right, it's all good. Why does it have to lean on my side? Why does it have to do that? Nope, not looking.
I don't think I'm going to look either. Look, I can't see. Honestly, I can't. Can you see anything? I might actually have to hound dog this.
All right, now I'm shook. Can't see a damn thing. Oh, that was gross.
That's good. All right, we're nearly at flat ground. Oh, God, the wind can get in your eyes up here, I tell you what. Oh, my Lord. That is unbelievable. Don't look at me. Look there. Now, mate, we've got to go just a fracco high to get over the top, then we go all the way down. But if you have a look right up there, can you see that?
That's a little outhouse.
That's a little toilet.
Little dunny.
Now, I don't know why you'd climb all the way up there to...
I reckon they've built the highest dunny in the world.
Wouldn't be the world, but definitely be Colorado.
Okay.
I reckon we get over and just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And
start getting back down to sea level.
oh, because I can't breathe.
This is amazing though. Take it all in, mate. Take it in.
Take it in.
What a time to be alive. Well, there's so much bonus material to come out of those shows, and for good reason too. Those tracks were absolutely epic. Now, this is one of my favourite bits, mate. We get to go from our shed into yours and see some of the crazy adventures you guys have been up to, and some of your stories, some of your fails, and of course, some of your rigs. But before we get into a lot of that, I just want to... I was down at Bathurst, the Bathurst 1000 the other day, Graham.
Yes,
now,
I heard. Yeah, I certainly heard.
Now, check this out. Now, these guys, you know, they know how to party down in Bathurst, mate, and these fellas got some signatures. We did a lot of signatures over the weekend. Now, this one here will stand in my mind for just about ever. I've never signed a guy's thigh so far up his leg before, and the fact that
come on. Of course you have.
and the fact that these fellas actually got mine and Jocko's name tattooed on their legs, I mean, that shows a lot of commitment. Pretty wild stuff, mate. Yeah, it was. I've got to say though, the whole Bathurst weekend was mind-blowing. Just to, you know, we've got to go into Bryce Goodwood's, the pit lane. He showed us around the vehicle and how they do everything down there. We got some pretty crazy experiences, not to mention just seeing some of those cars in the flesh go around the track, mate.
Yeah, that would have been, holy heck.
It was my first time to Bathurst, mate, and I've got to say I'll definitely be going again. That was
your first? Okay, your first time to the actual race, yeah.
I've seen it on telly plenty of times, but I've never actually been to the race and actually heard the V8s go past. Even some of the Porsche Cup cars. It was just phenomenal, mate. It was just absolutely phenomenal.
I once drove Shorty around the track, around Bathurst track, and I reckon I set the slowest lap time ever in the history.
How good's that? It's cool. There's something special about being there on the Bathurst weekend, mate. There's so much history on that track, but yeah,
one day,
got to do
it.
it.
Can I show you this here? This is something that was sent in to us. This is a couple of guys by the name, or young kids by the name of Heath and Lennox, mate. They've made your car, my car, and Jocko's car out of what I can only assume is a form of Lego, mate. Have a go at that.
That is cool. There is some really cool Lego versions of our vehicles out there. Like when we go to four-wheel drive shows, some kids actually spend hours in making like replicas of our rigs and stuff. Yeah. Now, I just want to put it out there, if your kids or you're watching and you've made Lego replicas of one of our vehicles, can you please send us a photo on our Instagram, on the Four Wheel Drive 24/7 Instagram. In fact, can I make a new hashtag? I don't know if I'm allowed to do this.
On?
Four Wheel Drive 24/7 Lego.
Good. Love it.
Use that hashtag, and for next Beers in the Shed, I want to go through some of the Lego models, and I want to give some prizes away as well, because they blow my mind. I was a big Lego fan back in the 90s, mate, and they never disappoint.
Last week, you mean?
I love
You know
Lego.
what? If anyone's good at Lego out there, I'm going to set a challenge. Make a Lego me. I'd like a little hairy me, a little Lego me, please.
I reckon, look, a shorty, a dirty 30, a sooty. I don't know, guys, I'm going to leave it in your capable hands. There's a lot of young fans out there. Four-wheel drive 24/7 Lego. Use that hashtag.
Like
Get your parents to put it up, because you might not have an Instagram. But we'll see what comes in, eh?
Now, speaking of hashtags, Four Drive 24/7 hashtags are super popular out there. I don't know what we're up to in terms of the fails now. It is phenomenal.
There is tens of thousands.
That means there's a lot of people out there failing, and it makes me feel damn good about myself.
It does.
So without any further ado, we are going to jump into this one right here, which is from Cooper, who decided that his N70 needed to have a bit of a sleep. And it looks like he's done it on a straight stretch of road too. I'm not too sure how that happens.
Can happen, mate. It can happen. You know, overcorrect, get a little bit spicy in your steering, and next thing she hits a root and goes on its lid. I've seen this happen so many times. It's not funny. Yes, it does happen. You've got to be careful, mate. Drive to your limits.
Mate, you do. Drive to your limits, folks.
You know exactly what track this is. Yeah, exactly. You know what track this is.
Adam has done the old see you later. No more. One more, I
believe I've done the exact same thing in the same spot, so don't feel bad about that one, Adam.
No,
that can definitely happen. It's a little bit too much.
It's so much steeper than it looks there too.
That's the problem with all videos. I'm sure everyone who's ever taken a four-wheel drive photo or a video on a steep hill, they go show their mates. They're like, oh, it doesn't look that hard. I've driven heaps harder than that, but it's actually like this. But you can't really get it across on a photo.
Exactly.
Right, mate. We're going to pick a winner. It's going to be super tough to do. Look, I'm going to pick, if it's okay with you,
go for it.
I'm going to pick little Heath and Lennox for their Lego replicas of our vehicles, mate. I reckon that's really cool. That made my day to see that.
Yeah, it's certainly anyone that can build a car out of Lego. I can't build a car out of Lego, for crying out loud. And I bet those kids are about a tenth my age.
And remember as well, we're going to have a little section dedicated to the best Lego builds of Four Wheel Drive 24/7 vehicles. But yeah, that's going to be cool. I'm going to organise some really cool prizes, and I'll let you know what they are in the next show, and we'll go through the top contenders for that one. That's going to be pretty cool.
That's so cool. Speaking of rigging, mate, there's no. You can have a Lego rig, and that's fantastic. Love it to pieces, but there's no substitute for the real thing, mate. Mate, I'll let you introduce this one because this will be right up your alley. For goodness sake.
Okay, everyone, stop the bus.
Settle down.
We've got Zane Butler in now. I haven't even read this one. Yeah, it's a White Lightning. I knew it was a White Lightning special edition. Now, this is a very special 60 Series Land Cruiser. Now, I'm a big 60 Series fan. Now,
sorry, folks. I'll
limited edition. You got the turbo seats. Again, he's taken some great photos of it. But what I like about this is it's so clean. Now, it's got 12 HT motor in it, and it's actually undergone a full nut and bolt restoration. Now, what I love about this, the fact from the part they look so cool, is every time you spend the time, money, and effort on restoring a vehicle like this, you're surviving a piece of Australian history. Yeah. And that's exactly what he's done here.
Mate, this is a pretty special one right here. We've got this one in here from Alicia Hebe. Now, she sent in the pic of their Hilux that they've got right here. Now, the story behind this, the backstory is actually really cool. Her husband's, he's like every other bloke out there. He's working his butt off to try and provide for the family. He's working 12 to 18 hours a day. They picked this old rig up in a paddock 2 years ago where it had been sitting covered in moss. It was absolutely filthy. After work, he's put his heart and soul into that bad boy so that he can take the family out wheeling in what would probably be a bit of a budget truck, let's face it. But Jocko will tell you that thing will go anywhere and will continue to do so for a very long time. And you know what? It's not always about building up the biggest and the best rigs. It's about the passion behind it. And something tells me that the guys that own that just love it to pieces.
You can tell that Alicia's very proud of her husband, and
for sure.
And so you should be. Look, until that story, I was going to give the prize pack to maybe that 60 Series, and
Tough
Look, the
call.
4X merch pack goes to your husband, Alicia, because that's a really cool story. You know, and the cool thing is he's getting his kids involved at a young age, taking them outdoors and camp. He's working hard to get a future for them, but at the same time, getting them out in the scrub and giving them the best bush education they can have.
I'm going to get a bit teary if I'm not
It's
careful.
pretty cool, mate. It's pretty cool. But look, there's so many of you guys that want to share your stories with us. You want to show us your rigs, your fails, and of course now your Lego mobiles as well. So the best way to do that, of course, is to make sure, firstly, you like our Instagram, our Facebook, and of course our TikTok. And if you're going to post something up that's relevant, use the hashtags, the /247 rigs, fails, or Lego hashtag.
Lego.
Yeah, that's a new one we just made up, literally on the spot. We don't usually have authority for this sort of stuff, but we just did it.
No, we don't.
And
I'm going to
wanna
look this
see it.
afternoon. I bet there'll be something up there by this afternoon. There'll be
some Lego hashtags. I can't wait to see it, mate. Look, that's probably all we've got time for today. It's been a bit of a big one. We've gone right down into the darkest, deepest parts of our phones to pull out some cool little photos from behind the scenes.
I reckon we could go darker and deeper, mate, but we're not allowed to do that on this show.
not for this time rating.
What have we got coming up on the channel, mate? I know I've got some cracking off-grids coming up. We go right up the Darling River. We've got a big Darling River run coming up, which, geez, I enjoyed. You've been out and about.
I have, mate. Look, I've still got the red dust all over my chair. I'm unshaven and look pretty unkept at the moment. I've just been up in Cape York, and what you can't see is I've got a dirty 200 series here. Soot's actually had a bit of a clean. She was up there as well. So Sooty, the 200, had a Can-Am side-by-side Defender, as well as one of the best epic tinnies on an off-road trail you'll ever see. We just headed straight up to Cape York. So we left my house in southeast Queensland, got to the tip of Australia in 3 days from my place, and we started
That's moving.
That's moving. We did 1,000 Ks a day. We went to outback pubs along the way. The cool thing is we brought a cameraman. We did a real bare bones sort of shoot of this like fishing adventure trip that I'm going to share. It's like a behind the scenes on one of my holidays essentially, and you'll get to see all the action of that pretty soon on YouTube, which I'm very excited to share with you. The fishing was off tap. Just, I don't want to spoil too much, but the fishing was off tap. The adventure was pretty wild. We nearly lost the Can-Am in the first 24 hours in a river crossing. I won't go into more detail, but you'll have to watch that one. There's a lot of cool stuff. What have you been up to, Graham? You've been towing caravans, getting too involved in happy hours. What have you been up to?
On a lot of happy hours at 4 p.m, which I quite like. Mate, we've got even more than that. We've got Off-Grid coming out, your show's coming out, we've got Glasshouse, of course, we've got Jocko's been up there with you to the year. It never stops, mate, and Christmas is only just around the corner, and we've still got more to go.
We really do. We really do. We've got some really cool stuff. So, guys, do yourself a favour. Takes 2 seconds and it means the world to us. Make sure you hit your notifications and subscribe to Full Drive 24/7. And we'll give you the big thumbs up. Thank you so much for doing that. Righto, well, that's all we've got time for. Graham, big cheers, mate. Always great to catch up with a couple of tinnies in our sheds, mate. And I'll probably look forward to seeing you pretty soon. And, folks,
very soon.
I can't wait to share our latest adventures.